Magandang araw po ulit sa atin mga minamahal. Welcome po ulit sa ating 10-minute Bible study with Pastor Leo. Again, magandang araw po sa atin lahat. You and I are aware naman po sa mga nangyayari po sa mundo. We are aware of what's going on out there in the world today. And in the context of this global COVID-19 pandemic, this is a dark time for many people, for many of us, and in the world today. There is darkness surrounding the day in which we live. So we ask the question, Pastor, is there light in the middle of this darkness? In the midst of this confusion and chaos and crisis that we are facing, Pastor, is there light in this seemingly hopeless environment that we find ourselves today? And that is why, mga kapatid, for our Bible study and meditation sa araw na ito, I want to quote to you Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11. It says po dito, Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Let me read that again. "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Now that is a great verse right there. That is an awesome verse. However, an awesome verse in a bad chapter. Because you see, chapter 29 of Jeremiah is not a pleasant chapter. In verse 4 alone, it tells us that God allowed His people, the people of Israel, to be defeated by the enemy, captured and brought to Babylon, because of their spiritual regression. They deliberately disobeyed God and deliberately went against His will, and they rebelled against God. And as a result, God put them in a place of judgment in Babylon, pagan country, to discipline them. So you see, Jeremiah chapter 29 is not a nice chapter. It is a bad chapter. But in a bad chapter, God has a great verse. He said, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." But not only that this is a great verse in a bad chapter, this is also a great verse in a bad chapter located in a bad book written by a sad, weeping prophet Jeremiah. One chapter, one bad chapter after another bad chapter. But despite that, God still has a great verse. He said, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future." As the people of God, the Israelites, defeated, captured, brought to Babylon, ostracized, they experienced pains, difficulties and hardship, uncertainties and hopelessness. And it is in the midst of this pain and uncertainties, verse 11 comes up. It is in the midst of this hopelessness that verse 11 comes up. "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Now today, with the spread of COVID-19 globally, ang kawalan ng pag-asa nangingibabaw po. Hopelessness reigns. Ang tanong ngayon ay sa kalagitnaan ng krisis na hinaharap natin ngayon, paano at saan, Pastor, tayo ngayon makakakuha at makakakita ng pag-asa na magbibigay sa atin ng tapang at lakas para patuloy na mamuhay na tapat sa Panginoon? Ang sagot po dyan, mga minamahal, verse 11. "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Future. Plans to give you hope and a future. Hope. Mga minamahal, hope. What is hope? One thing about hope, mga minamahal, is that it is future-oriented. Hope is future-oriented. Now, I'm just going to speak for myself. See, hope is a pleasant anticipation of what lies ahead of me despite what I'm going through right now. In other words, hope is telling me that my tomorrow is going to be better than my yesterday, that my future is going to be better than my present and my past. And that hope is telling me that where I am going is going to be better than where I have been. Because you see, hope is an eager anticipation, has something to do with eager anticipation that what lies ahead of me is much, much better than today and yesterday. Ito po yung paalala ko po para sa ating mga minamahal pagdating po sa pag-asa and hope po. Malayo po ang mararating natin. Malayo po ang mararating natin kahit na ang tanging meron lang tayo papunta sa ating patutunguhan ay pag-asa lamang. Ibig sabihin lamang yan mga kapatid na meron tayong tinatawag na galak na hinahangad at inaasam-asam natin ang maliwanag na bukas sa kalagitnaan ng kadiliman at kawalan ng pag-asa na ating dinadanas ngayon, hinaharap ngayon. Somehow God is telling us, as to say, sinasabi ng Panginoon sa atin that in spite of where you are and in spite of what you're going through right now, He said, I have a plan. I have a plan. That's what He said. In other words, God is still working something special in you. He is not done and it's not over, mga minamahal. He has a plan. So ngayon, matanong mo sa sarili natin, tanong mo sa sarili, tanong mo sa akin, Pastor, paano mo nalaman may plano ang Diyos sa buhay ko? Pastor, paano mo nalaman na may plano nga ang Diyos sa buhay ko? Well, ito, simple sagot lang yun, mga minamahal. The fact na kayo ngayon, ay simple sagot is, you're here. Kayo ngayon, the fact na kayo ngayon ay nanonood, nakikinig sa salita ng Panginoon, isang palatandaan po na ang Panginoon may ginagawa pa sa buhay mo. Hindi pa siya tapos at hindi pa tapos, mga minamahal. And you can assume I am right on this one, mga minamahal. Balik po tayo sa tinatawag nating COVID-19 yan. We are, mga minamahal, we are in this situation right now. The global COVID-19 getting worse without cure in sight. Why? God allowed it. But He has a plan. He has a plan. God looked down from heaven, allowed the lockdown to happen, so that in our hopelessness, we will look up to Him because in Him alone lies our hope, mga minamahal. At ito po yung dapat nating pakakatandaan po. Ang dakilang Diyos natin, siya po ay hindi po siya huling pag-asa. Siya po ay tanging pag-asa. Siya po ang tanging pag-asa natin. He allowed this COVID-19 pandemic na yan globally na mangyari. Why? To get our attention. He's trying to get our attention. Now ngayon, kuha ng Diyos ang ating atensyon. So, ang tanong ngayon is, bakit nga ba, Pastor? Because God is trying to communicate to us through this crisis. Okay? Ano bang gusto niyang iparating sa atin, Pastor? Well, ito po, mga minamahal. Gusto niyang imbitahan tayo, na imbitahan natin siya sa ating buhay at sa lahat ng ating ginagawa. Uulitin ko po. Gusto niyang imbitahan tayo, na imbitahan natin siya sa ating buhay at sa lahat ng ating ginagawa. Ibig sabihin, gusto niyang imbitahan tayo, na imbitahan natin siya na maging una sa buhay natin at sa lahat ng ating ginagawa. Gusto niya maging una sa buhay natin at sa lahat ng ating ginagawa. Sa kalagitnaan ng krisis na hinaharap natin, mga minamahal, ito po, gusto ko pong tandaan po natin, na ang dakilang leksyon po, mga minamahal, dakilang leksyon patungkol sa ating pananampalataya ay makukuha at matutunan natin sa panahon ng kinatawag nating kahirapan at kawalan ng pag-asa. Dumating na po sa punto ng buhay natin na wala na tayong mahahawakan, wala na tayong malalapitan at wala na tayong masasandalan. Tanging Diyos na lamang. Kaya mga minamahal, pag siya ay hinawakan natin, pag ang Diyos ay hinawakan natin, siya naman ay mahigpit na yumayakap sa atin. May plano po siya sa buhay natin. He said, "For I know the plans I have for you." He declares, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Sa susunod po ulit na ating 10-minute Bible study, aantayin ko po kayo ulit. At salamat po ulit sa inyong panunood at pakikinig. Magandang araw po sa ating lahat. God bless po.